All right, well, 2014 World Cup is over. I want to talk about some of your favourite moments. Geraint, we'll start with you. What's your most memorable or favourite moment?
Yeah, look, there were so many. If we look just from an African point of view to start with, I thought Algeria were really, really impressive. I think they were probably the best African team on display, although the African teams really failed to fire, which was a little bit sad. And then obviously Luis Suarez's bite, that was probably the low light of the tournament, but it attracted, social media went into meltdown basically over that. God knows how many pictures and tweets posted regarding that. And then I think the German collective effort stood out for me. We touched on it earlier. Messi's pretty much the Argentinian go-to guy. Neymar a little bit for Brazil, but Germany, they had some star players, but no real household names, and they played as a team. And I think it took a team collective effort to win, and I think a lot of teams can learn from that. It's no point in having one guy that you rely on and then he gets injured and then you pretty much fall apart because you've got nobody else to look to. So Germany had stars across the board. Their substitutes, like we know now, came on to win the final for them. So that really, the team effort stood out for me this tournament.
Rob, what stood out for you?
I just thought the general spirit of football was the pleasing aspect, Jen. It was one of those tournaments where you just felt that there was a genuine commitment, especially in the group phases, to sort of really, really impressive cutthroat attacking play, and it was epitomised by the number of goals. We ended up equaling the record tally for a previous World Cup tournament. 1998 was it, Geraint? 171 goals. We ended up getting exactly the same tally, which gave you an indication of maybe that some defences need to have a long look at themselves. But nevertheless, lots of goals. That's what fans, flock to see, really, whether on television or at the tournament itself. I suspect everyone who went to Brazil had a fabulous time, despite obviously some rumbles before the tournament about how the Brazilian public as a whole felt about hosting the tournaments, given sort of social issues in the country. And apart from that, there was some violence here and there, a few bits of tension in the streets. Police called out every now and then, but generally it was a very happy occasion. And if I had to think of an individual game that I enjoyed, perhaps a slightly unusual one, the game I remember the most vividly was perhaps Ghana against Germany, where Ghana really showed how African football is not a completely lost cause. At times, the best of African can actually hold the team that turned out to be the eventual world champions in Germany. A rousing 2-2 draw. That was the game that really stood out for me. And of course, there were plenty of others. Generally, a very, very good tournament.